attend, they will be able to follow up with it later. And of course, Sherine, if you'd like a copy, we're more than happy to send that out to you. So our guest today, Sherine, she's already finished working out, which, you know, for those of us here at 9 a.m., we think, okay, well, that's great, except that she is in Hawaii. Is that correct?
Yes, so it's 7 a.m.
Yeah, so you've been up early, rocking and rolling. To give them a little background on who you are and how you got started in this business.
Okay, real quick, my background's in real estate. I was born and raised by real estate agents, basically. Grandparents, parents said I didn't want anything to do with it. I went into the loan business, which really is the same thing. I did that for 20 years. I had my own mortgage company. Then got out in '06, really great time to get out of the loan business. And then I ended up going into title and escrow, managing Fidelity National Title for Hawaii. I was in California all the way up until then, and didn't like managing hundreds of people. So moved on to real estate, which made my father very happy. That was 6 years ago. So my entire life, my entire life, all I did is make realtors happy. That's all I was trying to do my whole life.
And so, you know, when we talked the other day, you mentioned that that you've carried that philosophy into your real estate career. So go ahead and expand on that nugget of what, you know, you spent, you know, early part of your career before switching over to the dark side on the real estate, how you utilize that today with your business.
Basically, you know, I went into real estate within the first 2 years. I got in the top 100 realtors in Hawaii, which there are 9,000 of us crazy people here.
Nice.
So I definitely have watched a lot of realtors and seen what to do right and what to do wrong. I'm very close to hundreds of realtors, and so I've learned a lot from them. But when I saw EXP, I was one of those people could not unsee it. It didn't take me weeks. It didn't take me months to make a decision. I literally made the decision overnight, which I am not afraid to make decisions, big decisions. I will gather the information I need and I'll do it. So I did that with EXP. Jumped in 2 years and about 4 months ago. And I've kept my production the same in real estate. However, I've taken a little bit of time to make sure that every single transaction, I treat the other agent as though they are my next $5 million listing, if that makes sense. So my entire philosophy has been just to pay attention to the other real estate agent, go above and beyond. And while I'm making sure my client's happy, I am making extra careful that that agent on the other side is happy. And there's a million ways to go an extra mile with another agent. So for me with EXP, as far as selling real estate goes, it has only made things a little easier. And obviously you make more money. I came from Keller Williams, and in Hawaii, our cap's 40,000.
Wow.
I was a happy capper, I always said. A much happy capper here at EXP. So anyway, as far as real estate goes, I've really kept the same, you know, my one marketing plan that works, and the one that works 100% of the time is the one you work. And so I have that philosophy with real estate. And then with EXP, I love the revenue portion share of it, because I watched my grandparents die selling real estate. My dad's 79, still sells real estate. So I didn't want to be like that. I did not want to be tied down forever. And so I have really, really worked hard also on the side, making sure I'm bringing agents in slowly. And I mean slowly. I'm not a gung-ho person. I'm not Brent Gove, although I've known him all my life. But I am that person that just am consistently working together, building business with my realtors at the same time as I'm building business and continuing my business to grow. So I've sponsored about 33 agents, and I have about 330. It's funny, all the threes right now, 330 in my rev share, although I don't get paid on all of them because I haven't sponsored 40 yet. And I am 7 levels deep now. So it's working. My revenue share check is great, and it's enough to pay my bills in Hawaii, which a gallon of milk is $8 here, actually half gallon.
My goodness.
So, you know, it's been an
beer.
amazing thing. Yeah. Now, you want me to tell you a little bit about, I know you want, you want me to tell you a little bit about how I build that with other agents?
Well, hold on. I do, yes. However, I want to peel the onion on one of the things you said. I like your comment about the marketing plan, that you work the marketing plan that you're working on.
Yes.
So that was like a little gold that you tossed out there.
Yeah.
I wanna unearth that a little bit. So I like the philosophy right away. However, I'd like you to expand on that. How did you come to that belief system?
Watching successful realtors and seeing why they were successful compared to the other 90% who were not. And I
Mhm.
really paid attention to that all my life because I only wanted to work with those top 10% of the realtors when I was both in everything I did with the lending. And so I paid attention to that. And what I found watching realtors in 3 different cities, the top realtors, and everybody says, oh, our area is different. Well, I worked in 3 totally different areas and they were all the same situation, okay? Across the country, same. Um, but what I found is just basically it's the people that get into real estate. They go, okay, I'm going to go door knocking. Oh no, now I'm going to do these, mailers, and I'm going to call on FISBOs, and I'm going to knock on, I'm going to do all this stuff. But you get spread out, and then you don't do anything well.
Right.
So what I found is the people that just said, okay, I'm making calls from 9 to 11. I'm going to pay for leads, and that's what I'm going to do every single day. Okay, I know that's kind of the Buffini, some of the fairyites and all that, but it doesn't matter what it is. For me, I prepared a Facebook ad that said, what's my home worth? And I had a whole back end that went with that. And so every single person that clicked on that and got there, I would literally go out and take a full CMA to their home and talk to them about their house and their value. So that's how I got a lot of listings, and that's how I did it. But that's all I did. I didn't do a whole bunch of things. And it's not that what I did was the right thing to do. It doesn't matter what you do. Just don't pick everything. That's my advice to make any realtor be successful.
No, I think that is spot on, and I definitely see. Oh, good comment. Dave Reichard in our chat put on pick a horse and ride it better than anyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what I see exactly what you described is, I've been doing this for 26 years, and I guess maybe I wasn't smart enough to think I should do more than one thing. I was like, I've got to figure one way to get business out quickly and then really, really get good at that. And then I can start to try to add something else if I want to diversify. But to diversify before being good at anything actually just is counterproductive because you don't actually get far enough down the road to learn everything you need to know to get
Hmm.
good at it. And
Absolutely.
you gave a couple of examples of whether it be door knocking or cold calling or buying leads or open houses, whatever. Ultimately it's like dig in, go deep, and get after it. That's what I heard you
Yeah.
say.
Be the best at one thing and you will exceed in whatever it is you're looking to exceed in, I believe.
And so you made kind of a little bit of a joke when you said, well, my market's different, and you're like, I worked 3 different markets, and the top agents in every one of those different markets got really good at their one thing. Is that what you would
That
say?
is so true. When I hear people say that, I really try not to smirk or laugh because I think it's such a freaking joke. I do.
Right.
It's me.
But you don't understand my market. It's so much different.
Oh yeah, people are people. Believe it or not, they're the same.
Yeah. I had a conversation this weekend with a relatively new agent in the business. And he was like, asking advice. And I said, learn the top 10 objection handlers that are out there. Whether you go to Mike Ferry, Buffini, Tom Ferry, it doesn't really matter. Get a list of the scripts of the top 10 objections and then go master those 10 and you're good. And he's like, yeah, well, until new objections come around. I go, they're all people. It's 26 years. The objection's exactly the same. So what you're saying is regardless of market, it's find that niche that you're comfortable with or you enjoy doing or you are willing to do and then go after it.
Absolutely. I love what you just said. I mean, I'm taking that. I've never heard it. I always think I've heard so much. And every time I hear something new, I get so excited. I love what you just said about those top 10 objections. That's fabulous. I have a team and I've got 10 agents and I am using that this week. It's what you take from these things and actually put to use, I think is phenomenal. I love that. I love it. And I do think that just going after that one thing and mastering it is phenomenal. I love the 10 objections. I'm doing it.
All right, that's awesome. So you mentioned you have 33 agents. How long ago did you move over to EXP? You may have said it, but it didn't register.
October over, 2 and going to be two
Just
and a
over
half
2
years.
years?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right, I'm going to dig in a little bit on this, even though, the intention of our call is to not always go too deep on the EXP revenue share recruiting or attracting or enrolling process. So you have 33 agents you've brought in on your level one in just over 2 years. I've got my pen out. You can see it, I hope. I want to take notes. What'd you do? How'd you do it?
Okay, so with every single time I have a transaction, I just pay attention to the other agent to the point that I surprise them, because customer service is expected and you're expected to do certain things for the other agents, but there's a lot of things you can do to surprise them. You have to think about it. You can find out who they are, what they like. At the end of the transaction, send them a gift that has to do with something they like, not just like, oh, everybody gets whatever, flowers or a gift certificate, but find out who they are, what makes them tick. That takes some digging. Really not that hard. You guys, realtors tell everybody about themselves. It's not that hard. It's a lot, so do a little studying, make a difference. And then after you've done that, you finish a deal and you be a rock star agent, and then you do something like that. Do you think that person will sit down and have coffee with you and hear about your business? Heck yeah. They'll sit down with you in a heartbeat. And then you can ask them about their company, hear them, listen to them, find out, what do you like about your company? What do you not like about your company? Find out about their family. And if they end up coming around saying, well, man, and then they'll of course ask about mine too. But when they come around and then they say that they're, oh, but I'm just so loyal to my broker. Well, now I know that, little Anna is their favorite person in the world. So I'm like, well, what about Anna's future? Is that more important than your broker? You love that broker.
Ooh, I like it.
You just call it like it
You're a dirty
is.
dog. You go right for the killer spot.
Well, it's reality. It's like, you get your reality all out of balance. And sometimes you go, wait a minute, what is more important?
Mhm.
So anyway, that's how I do it. And then I bring agents over. A lot of times I will just tell them right up front, this is probably not for you. What I'm doing is probably not the thing you're going to want to do, but I'll tell you about it. And there might come a day that your brokerage isn't exactly what you want out of it. You're not getting it. And you might want to come, and you won't know about this unless I tell you about it, because nothing else is like it. So that has worked, because I'll tell you, this January, I've had 4 phone calls of agents I told about this a long time ago, and they're all coming over. Personally
Nice.
sponsored. Yeah. So I think being patient, not forcing anything, but sharing, first developing a relationship first. I think that's important. Then sharing, and then allowing them to come in their own time. And that's my philosophy. That's how I've gotten to where I am so far. And I haven't gone so fast. Okay. I've seen people do way better than me. I'm pretty consistent. Yeah.
Well, it's not how fast you start. It's how far you go.
Yeah.
And you are in the flow, right? 2
Yeah.
years, you got 33 agents. You got 7 away from hitting the magic level 7 to get paid, right? And
Well,
obviously,
no, it's going to be more than that, because some of those are not producers. And that's one thing I quit doing. I really don't put my energy into somebody that's not in that, that's not going to be a capper.
well, here's the reality. You wouldn't put a lot of energy into somebody who is not going to buy,
No,
right?
no,
And
no.
so at the end of the day, this game, there's the real estate game is somewhat harsh, but true. Meaning, like, you're either going to get after it or you're going to get kicked to the curb. You're out of the game. And the clients, when you're qualifying a client, you're looking for people who have a real sense of urgency to buy or sell. And so the same thing as the agents that you're attracting. If you're constantly attracting agents who aren't getting it done and aren't committed to getting it done, well, you're going to have a pretty rough go of it. So good for you. So I wrote down the 3 bullets that you wrote: develop the relationship, sharing with them, and then be patient. Was there anything else to add to that in terms of your process of approaching these agents? And I love to treat them like your next $5 million listing and get to know them, what makes them tick.
Yeah. No, that's what I've done. I mean, that's my story.
Love it. I love it. All right. So let's talk about your personal business. Um, we talked about, doing what the marketing that you're doing and stay on that, or as Dave put it, ride the horse that you're on and ride it better than anyone else. So what do you see the strength of your business?
The strength of my business, I think, well, now obviously it's referrals. I've only been selling real estate 6 years, but
Has that always been, which island are you on, by the way?
I'm on Oahu, where all the people are.
Yep. Beautiful.
So I'm over on the Kailua side, which
Okay.
is a smaller town,
Yep.
mountain and beach town. But I sell all over the island. I might have to drive a full hour, which is as far as you can drive.
Well, you can do that in LA, but you only go 5 miles.
Exactly. That's where
Yeah.
I'm from originally. I get it. Yeah.
I remember you talked about that. All right. So you cover the entire island. You're now working on a referral-based business. Obviously, I'm going to assume that you get to know them. You find out what makes your relationships tick. Is that a shock in
Oh,
this
absolutely.
conversation?
I mean, as I said, my marketing plan was a Facebook based marketing plan, and it was definitely aimed towards sellers.
Mhm.
And I mean, I didn't know a single person on Oahu except realtors. I moved here with Fidelity National Title to be their sales manager for all islands.
Okay.
So I came on board. All I got to know were the top 100 realtors in Hawaii. Those were my friends. So that's all I knew. And so when I had to start doing a marketing plan, holy cow, it's not like I'm going to talk to my sphere of influence. They're all realtors, right?
Yeah.
It was so hilarious. So that's why I had to do something to meet people. So when I went out, I would literally go out and meet people. I would go to their house on Sunday afternoons because everybody's home on Sunday afternoons, by the way. So I would usually go out to their house on Sunday afternoon with a CMA for their house. I would have a range, but I wouldn't call. I would literally just take the CMA and I'd go to their house and say, hey, I live right around the corner, because I just prospected for that. I just had my ads going in Kailua. So I would literally say, hey, I live around the corner on Kalaheo, and I'm just out this afternoon. I don't dress all up. I don't look, I just look, normal, not like some business person. People in Hawaii are scared of those people. So you just walk up and
So you're coming in
say,
totally laid back and casual. You
yeah,
have not scheduled
totally
an
laid
appointment.
back. Yeah. And I'll just be like, hey, how are you? I'm Sherine. I talked to you. I always talked to them before I took that out, by the way. They wouldn't know I was coming, but I would call them and say, hey, I'm preparing this for you. Tell me a little bit more about your house. Have you got, and ask the questions: new windows, flooring, bathrooms, kitchen, updated roof, give me those things. I'm working on your home value. And so I would do that. So I would have spoke to them once. Then I show up and said, hey, I'm Sherine. I thought, hey, I'm out. You live right around the corner. I dropped this off for you. So then when I dropped it off, so often Sundays, people love to talk about their house on Sunday afternoon. I know that sounds funny, but it's true. So I would say, hey, I have a range of about 50,000. And by the way, we're talking 800 plus $1,000 homes. So if I have a range of about 50,000, that's not that big of a range. So I'd say, here it is. If you want me to look at it right now, I'll give you a closer number. And so that's usually that's how I built it.
So, and at that point, this isn't early in the conversation with them. They didn't opt in and say, hey, I need to sell this week.
It did happen a few times, but most of the time, no. They would say, oh, well, that's good to know. Might be 2 to 5 years, whatever. But whatever it is, I would always say, you know what? Let me go through the house with you. I'll tell you things that you can do that'll add value, and things that you might have been thinking of doing that will actually not add any value.
So you basically were building a relationship.
Yeah. So then.
Yeah. Somebody's breaking in. Careful.
Bobby, can you stop the dog? Somebody? Just get Nani out of here. No. I'm babysitting one of my clients' dogs. I have a bad habit of doing that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So anyway, yeah, but that's pretty much, yeah, how that.
Okay. So the relationships are the key of what you're looking at in terms of how you're bringing in agents into the company, and the relationship business is how you build your listing and sales side of the business, going out and getting to know these people at a deeper level. Uh,
Exactly, exactly. Sending them stuff on Pinterest that would probably work better. You know, like here's a great fence, it'll probably go great for you. I do that. I do that a lot.
nice.
You know, oh,
So
this, yeah.
so as you move forward, now you're 6 years into this business, you know, you have these relationships. What are you doing to keep those relationships going? Because there's a lot of people on the call here that they have relationships, but they may or may not be as effective as to keep the relationships going. So you've spent time establishing it. What are you doing now to keep it carried
I
forward?
keep Excel spreadsheets, actually Google Doc sheets all the time. I don't know what I do without them for
Wait,
both my EXP for realtors I want to, you know, stay in touch with, as well as all my buyers and all my sellers. So I have all these Excel spreads or Google Docs, and I'm always popping in there, and I can see on a big spectrum of who hasn't been tapped in a while. And if it's been a couple months, and I will then boom just pop in and maybe just send them something, call them, text them, just stay in touch and just keep it. There's so many different ways to stay in touch. I don't like to do the same thing all the time, but I like it to seem very random, you know, like, oh, they got it. Here's a text, here's that. And I keep notes, really good notes in KP Core, of what their dog's name and their kids' names and their birthdays and their mother died. And I remember it the next year. Those kind of things are all so great to, you can keep track of them in KV Core. So I have those things, text me, you know, they will let me know that I've got it, you know, somebody's got a birthday, somebody's got it. So those are easy to do to keep in touch. It's a funny that if that's all you did is remember the day somebody's mother died every year, they would, that's huge.
oh, no question. No question. That goes back to the, you know, really get to know them. That definitely will set you apart from everybody else without question.
Yeah.
So even though you have KV Core, you have a separate Excel spreadsheet.
I like
And
to see it at once.
what's
I
that?
just like to see it all.
Yeah. So how many people would you say are on this, you know, this Excel spreadsheet of relationship management?
Hundreds on my EXP Rev Share spreadsheet, and then on my buyers and sellers, couple hundred for
Okay.
each. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's easy to deal with,
Yeah,
honestly.
no, and especially if you're just looking to say, who haven't I talked to in a while or connected with? So you're constantly looking to make sure nobody's slipping through the cracks. And as you said, you're varying how you're approaching them. There's no question that you've found a good niche on how you're approaching your business. And at the end of the day, everybody at some point wants to get to the relationship end of this business where they get referrals every week, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I have one nugget I just remembered that I think you guys will love.
Okay.
Something I started doing this year.
Okay.
I got a little, like a 3x5 card thing that flips over like a small spiral notepad. Yeah. And so I made a list. Can you please get rid of that dog?
You're
I
okay.
made a list of all of the people that I would like to stay in touch with. Everybody in business, like every one of my clients, and I made it, it's really fat. It's got a couple hundred, right? So every day I flip that thing and go to the next person. I make 2 phone calls a day because we don't call enough people that we don't need to call. We always call people we need to call. And so what I have found is just, hey, what's up? I'm just calling to check up on you.
Mm.
And that has been huge because we don't make enough calls to people we don't need to call. And that has been good for the relationship side of everything. I actually did one for personal, one for acquaintances, and one for business.
I
And I
love it.
can't believe what that's been doing. So that's been huge.
I love it. So it's interesting you say that. Is I actually I'm going to use the word foreplay. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
if I've got to reach out and ask somebody for some assistance in an area, now if they're super inner circle, no problem, just call them and ask them. But if they're just outside of that range, I
Mm-hmm.
will call them and just check in. Hey, how you doing? No agenda. But really what I'm doing is I'm setting up the call I'm going to make in 3 weeks to 30 days where now I need something. But what you're doing is you said your book says, who do I want to have a relationship with? Is that what I heard you say?
The book is basically all the people I want to stay connected to in this world. Okay. All the people I want to stay connected to. Yeah. So I like that. So one is business, and past clients, don't you feel bad when you like sell a house and then 5 years later you're like, wonder how they're doing,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel really bad. I'm like, oh shoot, I wonder how this.
I feel terrible when I call them. I apologize. We had such a good time helping you buy that house or sell that house.
So even my mom's on this list. Okay, I put her in every about 7 pages. Okay, but some people I add a little extra throughout that little flip thing. But I'm just saying, it's made me, because before I was just not staying connected with people the way I should, and nobody told me that, but I felt it. And so it's really been good to do this. Just take a few minutes out, and nobody calls anymore. People just text. People don't call you for no reason to say, hey, how are you? I was thinking about you. And you don't have to talk very long. But anyway, leave a message.
I'm doing this. Like I just jotted all that down. Like, boom, I'm going to head to Office Depot. Today I'm picking up a spiral notebook. How many pages should I have? Like 250, or do I need bigger?
Get a really fat. It's fun. I have 3 fat ones, and it's really fun. And I'm really just working that. And I'm so happy about it. I feel like life is better because of this, and it's going to be better because of it. And then you know what? You will end up with more referrals because you're doing this, but you're also going to feel better about staying connected to people important to you.
I love it. And I think what I really love about it is you're keeping it simple, and you have it where it's in your face, right? So some of the challenges in some of the database management, obviously KV Core is a great tool, but like you said, you can see all this on your Excel spreadsheet. You can see this all in your book. It's right in your face. You don't have to go digging around for it. So I've told agents for a long time, I've never had more than 10 hot leads at a time. And that's on purpose, because I carry my best leads are in my briefcase all the time. I print them out. If you start saying something like, hey, the job transfer is coming up, and it's going to happen the next couple of weeks, you're printed out. You're going with me everywhere. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to forget you. Right. And so I separate it from the herd of the hundreds of other leads that are percolating. So love it. Well, Sherine, I really, really appreciate you taking the time this morning to share these pearls with us. Absolutely outstanding. Love your approach to the business, and your energy comes through so clean. I can tell you got a great life going, and congratulations to you on that. And thank you for everything.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank everybody. Yes. And thank you for all your nuggets. I'm going to work on that too.
I appreciate that. And we will get an email out with this recording if you want to hear it again. And Sherine, if there's anything that we can do for you here in Las Vegas, the Synergy community, do not hesitate to reach out to myself or Cody or anybody in our group. And please, if you come over this way, let us know. Okay, I'd love to get together with you.
Great. Thanks so much, you guys. Thank you.
All right. Take care, everybody else. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you
and
so much.
Cody, anything to wrap up?
I just want to make a quick mention that a lot of these people that are successful we talk to using spreadsheets. Just gonna say, I'm just gonna say.
I saw you like that.
Oh man, are you kidding? You're preaching to the choir right now. The king of spreadsheets. That's true. There might be a theme here.
Yes.
I was working on the spreadsheet you created for me this morning. So
there you go. Cool.
I'm crossing over. Over. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. And we will talk on our next Power 30. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.